think the only way to like cap this bonus round off is to put out an album.
Mm.
But we have over the year, like we were never not active. So there's a
Hmm.
lot of ideas that like, hey, lyrically this idea is great. I like it, but musically it kind of feels like 10 years ago. So how would we sort of import that into a new idea? Ryan basically is like the engine for all of the song ideas.
Hmm.
Um, in the years since we broke up and then got back together and kind of like been half-assing it for a few years, he would always go in there and he would always just like play the drums, play the guitar, play the bass, and come up with these ideas. Um, if he played something for me that sparked something, then we'd work on it. And there are hundreds of very good ideas that he has recorded. It's sometimes we'll go in there to the studio with the goal of like, let's pick from this big folder and let's see what we want to work on. And that's all night. All night we're just sitting there putting ideas into this like awesome folder, good folder, and like maybe folder. And the guy just churns out. He really he pours his soul out all the time. So yeah, making an album, I keep trying to go back to your question because I'm just rambling, but like making an album would be the only way that we would do ourselves justice, I think. Um, it's a matter of just like how difficult that can be some days to get in there and stay focused. A problem I feel like their last two albums had was, or our first album didn't have it, but our second album was us searching, kind of fighting with each other about like I was listening to Radiohead and Bright Eyes, and I wanted to make like a kind of like a folk electronic album, and the guys wanted to keep playing shows with like Thrice and Seosin and stuff. Like they wanted to be, and so that was a huge mistake I made was to kind of try to steer our ship away from what our obvious path would have been. Um, but now we want to try to stay in the vein that we're in. Like Soar is the best. I think it's the best song that we've done. I put it in my like top three of like all of our songs ever. Um, Lyrically, it came from a really good place, and musically, I've played it for friends that have known the band for the whole time, and they've said this is what you guys were supposed to sound like the entire time. Like you finally
Wow.
hit it. Um, and then the only real like negative feedback I've heard from people was like, I want to hear Eric screaming like he doesn't scream in Soar. And there's definitely I have a lot of aggressive topics that I want to cover in future songs. So there's going to be some screaming for the people who need it. For me,
Perfect. Well,
I need it too.